in each city, and they limit it to that. And we have 14 cars on the track at any given time, and it's pretty wild.
And I've seen these cars. How do people get in these things if you're any kind of man with some size?
Well, you go in through the roof. When they showed me the car, that was my question. I originally got my son into it, and the guy said, well, why don't you try it? I said, I can't fit in that car. I went through the roof, I got in, I felt good, and next thing I knew, I owned 5 of the cars.
Wow, so if you're an investor and you want to get involved in this, what does it cost?
Basically, you spend about $14,000 to buy a car, and then whatever few parts you tear up each week when you turn them over or run them into the wall. So it's a reasonable sport for somebody to get into that wants to get into auto racing.
All right, and I know you run at Cricket Arena here in Charlotte. And this is a season that stretches, what, from like maybe October through March, something like that?
We start late October, we run to the end of March, 15 races. It's a great thing on the weekends. You know, it's kind of the winter time, NASCAR's off, Super Bowl's kind of over with, so it gives people something to do on Saturday nights. It's a great family atmosphere.
What has been the response been so far from the people you've talked to here in Charlotte?
You know, the people in Charlotte love it that have been to see it. We need to get more people to come and see it, and I hope we do. But the more people that come, they realize how much fun it is. The first reaction is somebody will look at the car and go, oh, that's cute. And then they come to the racetrack and they see what's happening, and we're making 8-second laps, and we roll the cars over, and they crash just like the big cars. And it's a show. It's definitely a great show for the family.
Now, these are gas-driven
gas-powered cars. They have a Honda engine in them that's been bored out up to horsepower. Guy my size, we run around there at about 50 miles an hour. And on a 1/10 of a mile, that's moving pretty quick.
If you want to go to their website, there is a website for arena racing, and you will actually see some video of what this looks like. I was looking at this as I was getting ready to do this interview. It's nuts. It's as you said, it's like Bristol shrunken down. What's it like behind the wheel of a car?
It's quick. Things are happening fast, and even though we have spotters and we have radios, when he tells you that there's yellow out, you've already passed it. So you have to be very careful. But I got to tell you, it gives you a lot of hand-eye coordination. Your peripheral vision has to be good, and it makes it better. And so it's happening so fast. It's kind of like skiing and moguls. You know, you need to be 4 or 5 moguls ahead. Same with this car. You need to be kind of in that next turn. You can't be worrying about what's happening right in front of you.
All right, and as far as this show is being taped in February, I believe there's 3 events at Cricket Arena. There's more in March. Again, you can go to the website to get the dates. Tickets are available for these things. Now, tell us, when the fans show up, there are, what, 4 heats? How does this work?
We have heat races, and then you qualify to the heat races into the main. And then there's 3 main events, an A, B, and a C. So the C main is the slower cars, B's a little faster, the A main are the fastest cars. Everything's drawn out of a hat as far as your position for starting once you're in those mains. Then they take the top 14 cars out of those 3 races and put them in what they call the top dog race at the end of the night. And that's a very exciting place to be.
How safe are these cars?
Well, I think they're very safe.
You're still here, so that's
I'm still
good.
here. That was the same question my wife asked me when I put my 14-year-old son in. She wasn't worried about me, but she was worried about him. Very safe. Full roll cage. We wear the Hans device just like the NASCAR drivers do. Fire suits, gloves, helmets. It's very safe.
So do we have all the sponsor logos on the cars? And,
oh yeah.
This is the mini NASCAR?
It's a mini NASCAR. It's a great tool to learn about sponsorships and how to bring them in for a young person. And you know, get as much money as you can and put as many decals on the car as you can find.
And if you want to drive this, if there's a young kid out there who would be very interested in getting behind the wheel of a car, is there a place to help train you to do this if you've never done it before?
You know, that's kind of what it's all about, is the training.
This is training.
My son, the first time he did it, my wife said, I wonder how he's going to be. I said, 1 of 2 things is going to happen. He's going to put it to the floor and go, or he's going to pull in the pits and be scared. And he put it to the floor and went. And I think it's, you get practice time early in the day, and you can see the young kids that don't have the experience, and they start to practice. The gentleman I told you about, that's 74 years old, is doing it. He had never driven a race car either, so he got out there and got to get in some practice and learn how to do it.
Now, it's not only in Charlotte, but in Hamptons.
Hamptons, Virginia.
And that's another circuit. So I mean,
it's another franchise. Yeah. So they run their own series up there. We run our own series here. And eventually they hope to have a nationwide kind of championship once they have enough cities up and running.
So are these cars styled like NASCARs? Because we've got the whole thing about the car of tomorrow. Is every car the same?
Every car is the same. You buy the car. It comes with the chassis, the engine. The engine's sealed where you can't cheat and work on the engine. They have a fiberglass body on it. So when you buy it, it comes ready to go basically. You add a radio to it, adjust your seat, and you're ready to go. But there's a lot more to it than that, which we found out. We set the cars up with caster and camber and all the suspension just like a big car. So stagger on the tires, everything. So it's just like driving a big race car, except we've scaled it down and we're indoors and we're going around there in 8 seconds.
And I saw, when I looked at the list of drivers, I saw your name with the zero cars. Is that what your car is?
Zero car.
Now, did you just pick that number on your own?
Actually, I didn't pick. I used the zero because I'm involved with the Charlotte Bobcats, and one of my first cars had their sponsorship on it. So instead of having a zero on the car, I had a basketball on the side of the car as my number.
Okay. And I saw there's a couple of NASCAR guys on that list.
Yeah, the first couple of races, Joe Gibson, Tony Stewart, and a couple of his guys down to run with us. And so you had, like my son, the first race, he raced against Tony Stewart. So that's a pretty exciting thing for a young kid.
Did Tony run him off the track?
They did well, let's put it that way. They did very well.
Price-wise, if I want a ticket, what does it cost to watch something like this?
There's a special this Saturday night for 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks for $40. It's a very reasonable priced event for your family.
All right. Well, it sounds like something that it can't miss.
No,
and if you want to get into driving, if you're 14 or 74, you can do it. You mentioned the Bobcats, and we've got a few minutes here, and I'd like to talk to you because you're on the ownership board. Bob Johnson owns the team, but you're a part of this. You got 4 tickets. Where do you think this franchise is right now? They've had some growing pains. A lot of people thought, this would be a crucial year to make the playoffs, and it's been kind of a struggle. What's your take on the franchise right now?
I love this franchise, and I think that we're continuing to grow every day. My goal is to put people in the seats every game and let people see the new arena that haven't seen it. Coach Sam Vincent's great. I sit right beside him on the bench. I see his style of coaching. And I actually take some of the stuff that I hear him talking about in his timeouts and the times that I've been to practices, and I apply it to my own business. He's a great motivator. He's a great, he puts things together in order, and he's not sloppy with his work at all. And I've really enjoyed being that part of it. I think making the playoffs obviously is something we'd like to do, and I think we still have a shot at doing that. We're only halfway through the season. But with Sean hurt and Adam hurt, we've had some of those things happen that have held us back a little bit.
All right, we're going to have a special presentation now, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about this. A Burke County sheriff was shot while he was on duty, and you've got a check presentation. We're going to bring in John McDivitt, who's the Burke County sheriff here. Tell us about what's going on here.
Yeah, one of their sheriffs was shot in the neck while on duty. Our security officer at the racetrack is a Charlotte police officer, and he wanted to put together a fundraiser for the deputy. And so 2 weeks ago at one of our events, we sold tickets. A certain amount of the proceeds went to this event. Some drivers participated, donated some money. My company donated some money. So we tried to do our part. And everybody's got to stick together. I noticed when you talk to Steve and these other guys, it's all about the community and the franchise that they're in. And John was a piece of us, and this was a friend of his, a fellow officer. And everybody at Arena Racing wanted to do their part, so we got together and raised a little bit of money, and I have a check to present to them tonight.
Well, then go ahead and make the presentation.
Okay. Sheriff, I have this check for $3,000 to pass on to the family of the officer. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, Skipper, thank you very much for stopping by. A great presentation here to end our show, and continued success with the racing league. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I'd like to invite you to come out one night. I'll let you drive my car and see
I'll tell you what, I'll watch. I'll watch you drive the car, but I will take you up on that invitation. And our time is up for the show tonight. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back again next time with another edition of Sports Night.
Sports Night is brought to you by Imbo Furniture, Scandinavian and Contemporary Designs. Fox Tops All, the countertop specialist. Call now and ask about our starting line selections. Charlotte Health and Fitness Magazine. Hansel Brown, and by Woods on South, 2100 South Boulevard. Thinking of updating your existing countertops? Then call the countertop specialists at Fox Tops All. Fox Tops All is a leading provider of premium custom manufactured countertops which we fabricate to your specs. No matter how large the project, Fox Tops All believes in exemplary customer service from the moment you walk through our doors until the last installed surface meets your satisfaction. Come visit our Mooresville showroom today and see for yourself why Fox Tops All.
Welcome to Stressless, the recliner that lets you create your own personal comfort zone. With a smooth reclining glide system that eases your body into the perfect position for total relaxation, plus full lumbar support and a headrest that adjusts automatically. Stressless. Relax your body, free your mind.
Come, experience Stressless at Inbo Furniture in Cornelius.
Hi everyone. I've had the chance to interview a lot of great sports personalities on this show in the couple of years I've been doing it. And one of them was Doug Herbert, one of the great drag strip racers in this country. He lives in the Charlotte area, and recently he and his wife suffered a horrible tragedy. They lost their two boys, James and John, in a car accident. If you'd like to make a donation in their memory, please make it out to Speedway Children's Charities online donations, and it can be made to www.speedwaycharities.org.